Hey guys, and welcome to a guide video, which is actually kind of new for my channel, which is kind of interesting, but I'm not going to go whole rant on that because nobody cares. You've come here to figure out how to do Survive the ARK level solo. I can help teach you that one. It's not easy, but it's possible. So, how do you do it? Well, first of all, we need stats, so let's go over that real quick. Alright, so you can see the stats right now. So, this is for a 120 character. This is for a person that has ascended to beta level on Gen 2 and has collected the chibi levels. If you have ascended on any other maps, have all the Explorer Nodes buff, everything else, basically everything else is just extra help. My run is done with a 175 character, and I'm not going to do it again with the 120 because it was a struggle. But that's not saying that a 120 is impossible to do it with. It is not. So, these are the stats you want to be looking at. 400 health, 350 weight, and the rest, literally every other level into movement speed. You can meddle with it a bit. So that 400 health, you probably do like 350. The weight, it really just needs to be set to your armor. So if you're using flak armor, then you can kind of just level that weight differently to whatever armor you're using. You just need to make sure that you're not slightly encumbered. So I have it at 350. I've got 3 sets of riot armor, so I would say 350 is a pretty good area. You could probably, with like 2 sets of armor, you probably do riot armor. But one big thing, always keep your fed tech. Fed tech is humongous. So basically, if your armor ever breaks, although it's not great armor, the fed tech is still armor, so it will still help you. Other than that, we now have our soups, brews, and everything else. So, obviously, we have our med brews. Med brews are big, they're good for healing you. So, obviously, you want to bring those. Focal Chili to speed you up. It gives you an extra 25% speed, so it's very helpful. Battle Tartar is something that I didn't really want to use too much because, and I don't think I ever did in the run, because I did not. It can be scary. It's kind of a stressful item because it reduces your health, but it makes you faster. So if you feel like you want that extra bit of speed, go for it. Just note that you will not be able to heal during that time period. Other than that, I was also using tech canteens. It's entirely possible with normal canteens. I just used tech canteens because I had them at my disposal. So I had tech canteens to help cool me off because the riot was really hot. But, as I said, you can use canteens, and if your armor's too hot, then you can use med brews to continuously heal yourself up. Stimberries is a very strange thing because you would think maybe stimulants, not stimberries. Reason I'm using stimberries. Stimberries are very, very useful because you can buy them in the mission. So if you're ever running low on stimberries in the mission, you can access HLNA's shop in the mission and buy more stimberries, which is really helpful. So that's why I'm using stimberries over stimulants, because stimberries actually allow you, or you can actually buy stimberries, unlike stimulants where you can't just buy them. Other than that, we have a lesser antidote. Now if you don't know why I have this, lesser antidotes will basically negate all bleed effects. It's amazing. So if you got hit by a Thyla, or an Aloe, or a Giga, and you drank one of these, bleed effect is gone, and for, I think it's 3 minutes, I think it lasts for, you can't get blood, which is amazing. I think the only creature in this mission that can actually, their bleed can actually affect you is the blood crystal wyvern, or crystal blood wyvern, whatever it's called. Anyway, so that's why you want lesser antidotes to deal with bleeds, because the redwoods and the mountains are heavy bleeders, so you definitely want to have something to combat the bleed. Other than that, I've got mutton just for an extra food source and healing source. And that's about it. Just grab good armor, keep your fed tech, and then keep all these soups and brews and all of that. Alright, let's jump into this. Alright, so I'm just going to start off right now. So, as you can see, I'm going straight for the bow. So the bow is a good weapon to start because you are trying to take out these small targets and the tropical wyvern first. That's your big goal. So you want to take out parasaurs, raptors, phiomias, oviraptors, and the pelagornis, pteranodons, and the seagulls if you can manage it, but it's fine if you can't. So your goal is to take out these guys. As you can see, that is what I am taking down right now. I think, if I remember correctly, the wyvern does take a bit to spawn in, so I had to just kind of focus down these guys. So that's your goal. Until the wyvern spawns in, you want to focus down the raptor, as the list I made before. Raptors, oviraptors, pteranodons, parasaurs, pelagornis, and phiomias. You just want to take out these guys until the wyvern spawns. You want to just keep running around with your bow, jumping back, and just keep firing. That's all you're going to be doing for now. And I'll come back once the wyvern shows up. But yeah, this is really all you're going to be doing for this run, or for this part of, or this wave. There we go. Alright, so as you can see, as I'm going, like, for a split second I can see the wyvern, but that's really all you need. So now, I've gone from focusing down all the creatures to focusing down the wyvern. This is your goal. You want to be focusing the wyvern as much as possible, because that wyvern is what's going to be mainly hitting you. So once you take it out, that's the only hard hitter that's super fast. So your goal is to take out the crystal wyvern. Then you're back on trying to take out these small creatures. But taking out small creatures obviously doesn't help with the big creatures. So what's the purpose? Well, once the crystal wyvern dies, you'll see I'm going straight back to the creatures. I'll wait until it dies to actually continue. Alright, so as you see, I just killed it. So now I'm back on the parasaurs and phiomias. So, first of all, as you can see down at my gauntlet credits right above my hotbar, I now have 1,450 credits. My goal is 1,500 credits, which I've now hit. Now, I don't see the point in parasaur. I see a point in hitting the Rexes just to lower their health just a bit. It doesn't matter a ton, because that's going to be taken out pretty soon here. What I'm going for is the cluster grenades. I know, it seems kind of off, right? Well, these will hit everything in the area, meaning you can hit all the Rexes, all the Trikes, all the Carbos, all together at the same time. So you're just going to basically be doing loops around the creatures and throwing grenades at them. And this is what you're going to be doing for the next, I don't know, minute and a half? Or, well, as long as you have. This is what you're going to be trying to do. So, it's going to be a long one, but yeah, you're just going to keep trying to loop around, trying to kill the creatures, kill the Trikes, kill the Rexes, but all the small things like Dilos and such, really easy to deal with the grenades. They got pretty low health. Also, don't worry about getting hit by the Trikes and such here. Your armor will get hit hard, but it is not too bad. Preferably trying to get hit as little as possible, but it is not the worst thing if you get hit here and there. Alright, so now you can see I'm actually trying to drag... I'm not focusing on one Carbo, because I'm actually trying to drag all the Carbos into a group so I can hit all of them at once. So that way, it's not like, oh, I'm focusing on one, then focusing another, and then focusing the other. Instead, I'm focusing all at one time, meaning they're all getting their health taken down instead of just one after the other. If you're focusing just one, then focusing another, you're gonna run out of time. You need to try to group everything together when you're using the grenades. So now that I've killed the Carbos, I'm heading for the small creatures, which would be the Lystro, Hesperornis, and Dodo. So that's all you have left. It's pretty easy from here. Obviously, your run might be different, but generally this is how my runs ended. But yeah, so as you can see, Dodo is dead. So, from here on out, you want to keep your cluster grenades. Kind of wacky, and trust me, it's stressful from here on out because you have to get to 2,500 points. Depending on how many points, how much time you saved, you would have anywhere between 1,500 to, I'd say, 1,900 points. Your goal is 2,500. So, you're going to be keeping your cluster grenades for this run. Be careful of wyverns. This is a second recording of it because my original recording, I never actually recorded the beach section, and I only recorded part of Scorched. So, I actually had to re-record this section. But, as you can see, I have a wyvern here. On my original section, I had all three at the same time. I had to deal with all three while trying to take these creatures out. But this is your goal. You need to take out Morellatops, Mantis, anything small that's trying to kill you. This is your goal. Don't worry about the wyverns. If the wyverns hurt, just keep chugging your med brews, keep running around, try to dodge their hits, all of that. But your goal is the small stuff with the cluster grenades. Once you get that 2,500, you want to head towards the center of red and green obelisks. On the, I think it's on, I don't remember which side, but on in the far wall of red and green, you'll see me go for it pretty soon here. There is the tech bow, and your tech bow is your main weapon from now on. Like, it has everything you need. It has the flame arrows, metal arrows, and explosive arrows. It's everything you're going to need. So once you get that 2,500, I only need one more kill here to get that. So I just keep chucking the grenades. Alright, so you see now I'm 2,500. I'm heading straight over there. So it's closer to red side, but it's on the back wall. You head for the tech bow, and as soon as you grab that tech bow, you are straight away going for the wyverns as soon as possible. That is your goal. If at all possible, remember to switch it to instant hit. I actually forgot to do that instantly, which is funny because it's instant hit. But that is something you need to be doing because instant hit will help you a ton. From here on out, you're taking down the wyverns. You need to focus down the wyverns before anything else, so that way you can deal with their breath attacks. Because they do hit hard, especially lightning. Like, you can dodge the rest of them, but lightning is really hard to dodge, so you want to focus down that lightning wyvern as soon as possible to make sure he is dealt with. Because, yeah, it gets really stressful. Anyway, so now that you've dealt with that, now you're just dealing with the creatures. So it's pretty simple. You're just going around killing the creatures. I'll come back to the death worm, because the death worm does actually have a small strategy behind it. But for now, it's just use your bow with like the bomb arrows and metal arrows to take out these creatures. But yeah, I'll be back in a second once we're taking out the death worm. Alright, so as you can see here, I just baited the death worm. After I killed the moth, I baited the death worm out by stepping close to it and then running away. That's what you gotta do. You gotta run close and then run away. And then you just spam it with those arrows. Get that thing killed as soon as possible, because that's your big pain target there. Then, once you take that out, as you can see here, I'm focusing on the small creatures, but then I realize rock elementals. You need to take these things out as soon as possible, because they are the second hard hitters. So as soon as you take these guys out, your job becomes so much easier. So I have now taken out one more shot and we'll kill it. There we go. So yeah, now I've killed the rock elemental, and now you can see I'm focusing down the bugs. So you want to use the bomb arrows with the bugs to get the blast damage, because they'll all be grouped together. So you want to get that blast damage. From here on out, you just got thorny dragons and jerboas. So if at all possible, try to headshot the thorny dragons. It is a possible headshot, and you get about 4,000 damage for a headshot, so it's a pretty good headshot. So you definitely want to try to get it. And then from here, just 6 jerboas to deal with. Then you're set for aberration. No, not aberration. For the swamp, then it's aberration. Alright, so from here on out, you'll be seeing my original run, so it will be slightly different from the one you're previously seeing, but for the most part, it's still the same thing. So, yeah, this is what you're pulling from here. But yeah, so really I'm just coming back for a second just to say this is the original run over the other run. From here, on the swamp, you're literally just jumping around using the jump pads, whatever else, to take out the creatures. Pretty slow process. Most of this is pretty basic, so I'm just going to be speeding through a lot of this. Not too fast, so that way you can actually see what I'm doing, but yeah, for the most part, it's pretty easy from here. It's just the waiting game on actually getting those hits and all, and dodging hits. So yeah, pretty boring, but it's necessary. Alright, so you've hit Aberration. Aberration's a fun phase. As you can see, I'm starting to lag here, which does happen on certain waves. It gets really laggy and it really struggles. So, what is your main goal here? Main goal is obviously small creatures if they're coming for you first, but your main goal is to take out Rock Drakes and Reapers first. They are your main targets, they are the hard hitters. As soon as you take those out, you basically just switch into bomb arrows and taking out the rest of the stuff. But before you take out the smaller things, you need to take out the Reapers, Rock Drakes, and eventually Basilisks. Though Basilisks aren't that bad, you can actually get a headshot on them. Not 100% to get one, but they're pretty easy takeout. You know, they run pretty straight, so it's pretty easy takeout. And if you can get a headshot, it only takes, I think, 2 shots to kill a Basilisk if you get the headshots. But yeah, this is again a basic run where I'm just running around, killing the Rock Drakes, killing the Reapers, killing Basilisks, and then it's just bomb arrows on the rest of the things. So yeah, pretty basic, pretty easy. Well, easy is debatable, but pretty basic. Okay, so redwoods. Redwoods are stressful. Chug that lesser antidote. You have to remember to do that. Now, because, yeah, this is the section where a lot of the bleed damage hitters spawn. So as soon as you can get that lesser antidote in, the less you have to worry about the bleeds. Which is amazing, because percentage-based damage sucks really badly. From here, once you've done that, you have a few big creatures. You want to take out the Titanosaur first, because Titanosaur is the big creature. It's your main goal. After that, you want to be trying to focus down the Wyvern, but you still got Tapajaras and Galleys trying to kill you. So you want to try to take out everything that's being annoying. Galleys are a big thing. Galleys are a very big thing, because they are just going to be constantly hitting you. So they're a good thing to take down as early as possible. Tapajaras are also another good creature to take down as early as possible, because they will cause you big annoyances later if you don't take them down as early as possible. But when you have the shots, take down that Blood Wyvern, because it does damage. So as soon as you can take that Crystal Wyvern down, take it down. From there on out, it's basic run. I mean, most of this is the same thing, just kind of run around with the tech bow. Two big things you have to worry about are the Aloes. Aloes are big hitters, so be cautious of those, and Troodons. Make sure you keep your eye out for Troodons. They are chaos if you do not get them from a range. So they're normally, from what I found, with the Thyla and Dire Bear pack. So if you can find that, you whittle down the Dire Bear and Thyla, and you should be able to see them. If you can't, make sure you keep running and you check behind you. Wait till you see the Troodons, but do not, at any cost, let them get near you, because they will knock you out, and Stimberries do not affect their knockout for the 10-second period that their thing lasts. It will not, Stimberries will not help there. So, at all possible, do not let them get near you. Anyway, alright. As said, basic run, just Troodons are a big thing. Other than that, Aloes, and yeah, alright, I'll just speed through again. Alright, so right now you can actually see I'm heading for some Dimorphs, because this next level's Extinction. Now, the reason for this is, Dimorphs are hard to hit. They're not great on damage, but the whole purpose of them being there in my runs is they're hard to hit, and so they grab things aggro, and the things that are aggroed onto them cannot hit them, or very rarely can. So it helps a lot. Anyway, as you can see, for a lot of this early section, I am lagging a ton, which sucks, but it does happen. So, you want to, obviously, while you're lagging bad, try not to take too many pop shots at creatures. You mostly just want to be running until the lag fully sorts itself out. Big worries for this level would be mechs, forest wyverns, and enforcers. Scouts are also a minor worry. They give you I think it's 3-second electricity, or they electrify you for 3 seconds, so you're stunned for 3 seconds. Big worry there, but if you dealt with big creatures, it's not too bad. Other than that, enforcers, hard hitters. They will destroy your armor if you let them hit you. So, if at all possible, do not let them hit you. They're your main focus. Explosive arrows do work fairly effectively. You can about 3-shot them, I believe, with explosive arrows. So they are effective. Other than that, we have the forest wyverns, which obviously are going to do fire attacks, which will take a percentage of your health down. Very dangerous, but not too terrible to take down. It takes 2 metal arrows to kill. Mechs are scary. They do quite a bit of damage with both of their phase pistols and their swords. Really, all you can do for that is just keep running, and just keep firing at them until they die. They do get affected by the fire arrows, which I don't entirely understand why that works. But metal arrows I have found are the most effective. Get the most damage in a big amount of time, or short amount of time, which obviously with mechs you want a short period of time so they can't hit you. Anyway, I think that's all the worries for this section. So just be careful of the enforcers specifically, because they will wreck your armor. Mechs will also. Mechs do quite a bit of damage, but those are the 2 things that will wreck your armor. Other than that, it's just kind of big things that will be very frustrating. Anyway, alright, let's continue speeding. Alright, so next up we have the tundra. For this area, you do not, well, you can if you want to, but you probably would not want to use any dimorphs, because although it's nice to have creatures drawn off you, RGs will fly into the air. So basically, for this run, again, you will just be running around firing at stuff. Worries for this round: Uties are fast and hard-hitting. So, as soon as they show up, like, go run for a jump pad, and then use the jump pad while you're in the air to fire at them. Another big worry, as you can see right now, is a frost wyvern, or ice wyvern, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, that is another really big worry. They hit hard, they're basically like normal wyverns, but they do give the ice effect if they hit you with their breath. It doesn't affect your movement speed too much in this case, because you already boosted your speed a ton, and you have Focal Chili, and potentially Battle Tartar if you're using that. But, as you can see here, I just got hit by a Uti, and that's why. Utis hit hard. So, you want to focus on the Utis. Woolly Rhinos are another good focus. They have quite a bit of health, do decent damage, but they're also fairly slow, so that you can utilize their lack of speed to take them out. Then once you've taken all those guys out, it's just the groups. So you have groups of RGs, the giant group, and the mammoths, and that's really it. This level isn't too bad. Utis are kind of annoying. Wyvern's not too bad, and woolly rhinos can be a danger, but they're normally with the pack, so if they're hitting you, then you're getting hit by everything, and you're probably gonna die. So try to avoid a giant pack of creatures. Utis your main focus, and Wyvern can be a problem, but normally isn't. Anyway, alright, let's keep going. Alright, so next up we have Genesis, and as you could see behind me for a second, I do have Dimorphs this way, because again, hard-hitting creatures and a lot of them. Now I am lagging again, as I said, this does tend to happen, but with this one it sucks extra, because there is a Void Worm this time. The Void Worm will electrocute you and keep you stunned. It sucks. So, basically, you're just gonna keep running around till the lag sorts itself enough. Yeah, it's kind of a struggle, it's kind of annoying, but it is manageable if you are smart about it. Yeah, but the Void Worm is your main goal. It does a lot of damage. Actually, no, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it stuns you, and then everything else does damage. So, your main focus is the Void Worm. It is a big focus. Other than that, Astrocetus. Astrocetus is another big problem. They hit hard. They're slow, but they hit hard, so make sure you do not get hit by that thing. Other than that, we just have a few of the small ones. They're fast, and they do hit pretty hard. Maywings aren't too bad, they're just fast. Shadowmanes do hit hard, and they are fast. And the Feroxes also hit hard and are fast. Bloodstalkers aren't too bad. Summoners don't really do much in this. I'm not really sure why they're there, but they're not really that crazy. Megashalons are kind of dangerous, but because they do hit hard, but they aren't too bad because they're very slow. And if you hit them in the head, you get a headshot, so extra damage there. Astros Delphis are kind of annoying, but they're not too bad. There's sometimes, I have found this multiple times, there's a bug that will happen where the Feroxes, Shadowmanes, all that stuff, everything that's fast, will just start walking for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not going to complain with it, but I don't know why. But it's very nice. It is very nice, because then it gives you free shots on everything and they can't hit you back. So, from here on out, that's your focus, all the small stuff, because now you've taken out all the big stuff, hopefully. Your focus is the big stuff, always. Always focus the big stuff first, then you'll focus down the mini stuff. And then once you've done that, you'll just take out the rest. Or say mini stuff. So you focus on the big stuff, then the fast stuff. Or if it's too fast, then the fast stuff, then the big stuff. But it depends on the speeds. But yeah, okay. So now, that's Genesis. Alright, let's move on to the mountains. Alright, so now we have the mountains. This one lagged me a lot, but as you can see right there, the Giga spawned right there instantly, and that was ridiculously scary. So lag on top of Giga equals very bad. I managed to survive somehow, I'm not positive how, but it was scary, man. It was ridiculously scary. Because it took a while before lag properly sorted. So that Giga hit hard. But this is another area where that Lesser Antidote comes in handy, because Lesser Antidote does affect the Giga's bleed. So, now your focus is the Giga. Once the Giga's dead, then you can focus on like fast things, then it's the Brontos, and just everything else. This one's pretty easy, I would say. There's a few fairly fast things, but the Giga is the main worry. Once you deal with the Giga, then it's the Procoptodons. Then I would say Quetzals and Brontos, and then it's just the giant clump of creatures. And then from there, you have beat the mountain. Now, obviously speeding through, but yeah, let's go to the final wave. Or I'm gonna go to the final wave, and I'm actually gonna let the original version of me that was recording this talk over this one, because there's not a lot to it. It's just kill the dodos until the Dodorex spawns, and then you'll see my strategy for the Dodorex. So yeah, I will see you in a bit. Do I have any? I have no backups. Awesome. Alright, so it's just me and the dodos. Me and the dodos. Alright, let's get some Dimorphs. Let's get ready.
There's straining realism, and then there's this.
Okay, I'm on fire already. Okay. Can you not? Game glitch, please. Hi guys, hi, how are you? Hi. Alright, FedTech chest plate, let's go! We're slowly getting diminished on. Where's that Dodorex? There we go. Alright, so before I continue, I'm going to talk about what strategy I'm using here. So, as you saw during that entire run, I tried to use as little gauntlet credits as I could. The reason behind it is I saved them all for this specifically. Right now, I'm going to be using a boss to take down the Dodo Rex. I'm going to be using the dragon because the dragon's fire breath, even though it is in the gauntlet form, it still has its 20% breath. So, it is possible to actually take this thing down, or the Dodo Rex down, because it gets affected by the fire breath and gets that 20% taken down after 10 seconds. Extra bonus to that, using the dragon, the fire attack from the Dodo Rex doesn't affect you. So, as you'll see in a second here, I'm trying to make this short, but yeah, that's the basic strategy. Use a dragon, try to take out the Zom Dodos, and take the Dodo Rex to as low health as you can. Anyway, alright, let's finish this. Yes! Yes! Yes!
I reckon that's
Yes!
that was worth it. If it'll help you break
Yes! Yes! Oh, yes! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you beat Survive the ARK on Alpha level. Trust me when I say a few things. First of all, it all comes down to luck. A lot of things that happened on that run were down to luck. Spawns and all of that, some things will spawn earlier than they normally do, and sometimes they'll spawn later than they normally do. All comes down to luck. Second of all, preparation is key. If you mess up on preparing one singular thing, that can mess up the entire run. Third, this does take time. Like, trying to make this kind of video took me a solid... Not right now, HLNA. I'm trying to finish a guide here. Anyway, this video took about 3 days of basic, like, the only missions I'm doing, and, like, almost all the time I'm on ARK, was trying to beat this mission, and, like, took 3 days of it. So, trust me when I say it is going to be difficult. For all the single-player people, actually, no, for everyone in general, go to single-player. And for anybody in single player, do this. If you're on a server, get cheat in armor that's practically the same as your the armor in your server, and use creative mode and God mode and infinite stats to try and figure out the layout of the level. And then once you've done that, do it without any cheats. And then you can, for the most part, figure out how to do it. That's how much it took me. It took me like 10 tries with God mode and infinite stats to figure it out, and then it took me another like 15, that's how much it was, like it was around 15 tries to actually beat it. So trust me when I say it's going to take a long time. The runs tend to be from anywhere between 30 minutes to 40 minutes, so it's going to take time. Like, if you actually get a successful run, it will take time. Be ready to sink in 40 minutes of time to reach the final level, only to fail. Or maybe like a previous level or something, but be ready to waste time because it does happen. Anyway, I think that's it. Oh my gosh, yeah. This was a fun one to record, I'll say that much. And this is one of the few times I have ever, and I'm going to ever say this, but if you enjoyed this guide, please hit the like button and subscribe because, oh my gosh, this took way too long to figure out how to do. So I would really appreciate support on how long this took. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.